So please just listen to the melody.
But it's definitely okay on the E flat, isn't it?
Yeah. Please just to the melody.
And normally we go to D minor. So it's saying go to the A minor add 4. Well, I'll do what it says.
Okay.
Here.
So go from please just listen to the melody.
Yeah.
Please just listen to the melody.
That can't be right.
What are you playing? Is that what's there?
Listen to this is how it goes on the as it's written.
Does it fit with what you're playing now?
Yeah.
When I go, you.
Perfect, yeah. I mean,
it sounds slightly dissonant to me.
No, I'm playing.
What are you playing?
I play something. I play that. That's how we'll end it.
It's prove I was actually. I didn't do anything, but I was here. Sounding good.
It is sounding very good, actually. It's a beautiful piano you've got there, Barry. Don't be proud there.
It took me long to play it in. Hi, today is the 26th of November 2010. I'm working on the set list for the Johnny Taylor Andy Penzak trio. What we've done is sent 11 tracks out to the guys, and from that they've picked the top 5, and I'm just sort of compiling the best top 5 list. In addition to that, this morning I've spoken to the studio and we're trying to get some studio time factored in and booked in for the new year. So that's where we're up to, just trying to get through these tracks at the minute. We've got 3 or 4 contenders that everybody's happy with, so they're obviously going to be top of the list to work on first. And that's about it. We'll see what the work through Christmas and into the new year brings. And it's looking good. Quite excited about this project. It should be good fun. And something really different.
6th, isn't it? 6th of Jan.
6th of January 2011. We're just here at the planning stage. We're looking at the tracks that we're going to put on the album. So yeah. So what I did was, as they came through, I listed them down. Yeah.
Day by day. I didn't know that was a contender. I mean, yeah, I think the ones we chucked, Too Close for Comfort, that one got chucked, didn't it?
What I did was pick the ones that everybody agreed on.
Yeah. No. Or we could do it. You could do it sort of like.
Do it in the style of Genesis, or yes. I'm thinking rather than, because it starts quite slow, doesn't it? You wanted me.
I can't remember what even the verse goes like. The chord wise.
So if we start it like, start with that sort of beat. A section in,
Next one. That's it. Right on.
It's not unusual to go out at any time. It's not unusual to not know the words. But if at any time that you change,
what I wanted to do is drop it like. John should be able to sing the tunes in most keys.
Right, okay.
But I don't want to be changing it to like a G sharp, G flat or something, just so he can
just
sing
so
it.
He can sing
and
it.
everybody's having a problem playing it in G flat.
But presumably that range will sit over, like you say, 4 or 5 keys.
It will, yeah. I'm confident that we will send him and he will probably straight off say, yeah, that's fine, they're all fine. It's like maybe just one, and he might just say, can you just drop that? And we'll drop it a tone.
Right.
Or 2 tones.
Just like we did with
because that was in D minor.
E or E flat or whatever. You know,
feel wise, we can't work on that till we're set up as a band.
No.
But at least.
But as long as Andy gives me root notes,
Yeah, well, what he might do is he'll get here and he'll say, I want to change that F there to an A minor or whatever.
Yeah, but what I need initially to start with is the very raw bones of it.
Yeah, which we all do.
And then from that's when we'll go, okay, and we'll do it.
This is how we're going to do it.
I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. I'll get you anything, my friend, if it makes you feel alright. Seasons of love. Celebrate, remember, a year in a
Yeah, and arrangements are all important. Oh, just as a matter of interest, a song for you, what was it like singing that?
That should do the trick, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it's not for him to practice the song, it's for him to
Establish the key.
say, yeah, it's probably singing that, I feel comfortable singing that.
Okay. It's an invisible Andy playing. Amazing, isn't it?
Or do a slightly different phrase on it. I mean, I'm not a vocalist, so I'm talking shite, but you know what I mean, don't you? It's like harmonies in 4-part harmony, you just sing the lower part of it, don't you?
Today's the 20th of January and the songs for the project are now confirmed. They are Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone, Can't Buy Me Love, Chico and the Man, It's Not Unusual, Lovely Day, Moon Dance, Seasons of Love, You Are the Sunshine of My Life, and Song for You. So that's 9 songs. John in London has been given some very loosely played piano parts so he can establish the keys. That's all been sorted out now. That's pretty much it. We're just pushing on now. Bit of downtime because Mark and Andy are working on other projects now for about 10 days. The studio is confirmed. That's it, it's just a push on time now. We just want to get together as a band, put the thing into rehearsal, and let's see what comes out of that. Okay.
Take 3,032,000.
Ready? Does everyone know what they're doing?
Do we know this one now?
Question. Yeah, we do.
Double choruses. Yeah. One chorus first time.
We're doing the whole thing.
All the rest. Yeah.
All right.
All the rest is double choruses.
Yeah.
And then after the final double chorus,
Here we go.
groove.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can't buy me love.
That right feel?
Yeah. Rehearsal number 2. Oh dear, oh dear.
Right, ready? Try and stay with the tempo. I'll just give you...
Just give me this hi-hat thing, yeah. So,
That's what you've got. Do the slow one first?
yeah.
Right, here we go. You ready, chops? I'll try and sing it, right?
Okay.
Relax,
1,
want some jazz.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You are the sunshine of my life.
It's just straight through, straight through.
And
That's
it's
it.
on an E-based
We used
song
to
as
play
well,
prog
which is...
rock and all that, that's why they're easy. Ready?
Yeah.
I'll give you a tempo, mate. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start on the first beat. Boom, down, the boom, boom, boom. Ready? 1. Oh shit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No! It stabs in it. Over the beginning. Down, 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 down.
Alright, okay.
1, 2,
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Verdict after 2 rehearsals.
After 2 rehearsals, if you put one of those videos you've done on that little thing there on YouTube, you get loads of hits. Absolutely loads of hits from hardcore jazz fans.
Hardcore jazz.
Sounds really good, After 2 days, more than impressed.
Verdict after 2 rehearsals.
Well, it's just not good enough.
Especially arriving late.
Especially you. I mean, the number of times, again, you're dropping sticks. How many times do I have to tell you? Gorilla snot. No, great, absolutely great. I'm amazed how quickly we've all come together. I think the nice thing is now we've got the hard work out of the way, and that is the truth. We've got the hard work out of the way now because we know the songs that we're doing, we know the idea that we're doing, what we're going to be playing. So now it's all about adding the extra little bits and making it really
polished.
Really polished.
Either take it down so it's not like dun, 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 dun,
Sunshine
we can either take it up, I don't know, something like that, but or take it down the other way and make it more like the slow version of You Are the Sunshine without the rhythm in it and spread it out so it's like the slow version, but then we'll have 2 slow versions, won't we? And then Cheek with the Man, that's fairly jazzy, isn't it? And it's not unusual actually, that's sort of semi-swings, isn't it? But it's got a groove, hasn't it?
It's got that nice
It's a
swing feel,
mid-tempo groove, isn't
sort
it?
of bossa nova beat.
Great selection. So that's the only, that's the only one I think.
Well, it won't be when
I'm just not happy with that one, and I think we can do better.
I think we're all unhappy with that one.
We'll sort it.
But to be honest, to have one that you think
an album filler,
that's not bad at all.
You can probably find out that's probably records the best and becomes the one that everybody says, "Oh,
Exactly.
it's brilliant." Yeah,
That's always
usually
the way,
how
isn't
it works. Yeah.
Think-
Oh yes, they will for Chico and the man. That's the first time now.
That's the middle now, and he played that twice in the middle.
2, yeah.
Right, with no fiddly bits. You know, none of.
No,
However,
just straight, but we can dub that.
on the Sammy Davis Jr. version, he went la 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 la. Right,
So
and then the last.
variation is this extra bit that's added
Well, they're
on.
both variations, but it just hits you first there, and the second one goes like this. I know things will be better. Oh yes, they will for Chico and the man.
What chord's that?
Yeah, F sharp 7.
Oh yes. It's coming round, isn't it?
So say
It's a
man,
turnaround.
yeah. No, it's like a. It's
Different.
yeah. It's just like a fourth.
Oh yes, they will for Chico and the man. Then into that rocking about a bit.
And that's
Right,
where
what about
John-
Chico and the Chinese?
Chico and the Chinese man.
This is Chinese and the man. He's only come for his tea, really. I haven't played the guitar.
Next time, give me a song there isn't a million chords in.
Can't buy me love, there's one for you. We can probably bluff our way through that. Bon appetit.
Even The Sunrise hasn't got as many chords in as that song. A unit bar. A unit beat.
You love it, really.
I'm all Chico'd out now. I can't Chico anymore.
What do you think? How do you think it went?
Truth?
Yeah.
Well, I did all my bits, but
You struggled without the singer being here, didn't we? Really?
I think, and you need a bossa nova groove.
Yeah.
Really.
You need a bit of boss, a bit of Nova, and a bit of Chico.
Yeah, and I think that's the first main thing. You know, it's not enough just to.
But from your point of view, all parts nailed on.
Yeah, and if I have to play it for you again, I'll come and play it again. It's
Stuck with no more nails.
I've not got a. I mean, it's a lot of cards in it, but I've nailed it really. I know the cards and everything. I've fluffed a few times before.
That's allowed.
But
What about your vocal? I think we should keep your
Nah.
vocal. Try Melodyne in it. Okay, this morning we've had up to now. It's what's the date today? The 10th of March today, and we've had 2 band rehearsals. They're going well. Okay, we're still sort of finding our feet on bits and pieces. One track that's causing a bit of concern is Chico and the Man. We felt that the way it was played, Alan came over in the week and we listened to it back. We've edited it all, it sounds fab now, but we just felt it lacked a bit of feel, and it needed really some sort of injection of groove. It was just a bit lacklustre is probably the word I'm looking for. So this morning I'm just going to program a loop up that we can play the backing track to, and then of course what we'll do is we'll strip that loop off and replace it with real percussion at a later date. So that's it. That's what I'm doing this morning. Apart from that, everything's going according to plan, and we'll see how it goes with the next couple of weeks. We've got a rehearsal this Sunday, so we'll see what happens after that.
Okay, let's move.
You're right.
Move.
Right, not worried about tempo as long as.
How long are we spanking it for at the end?
Oh, we're just.
Oh, no, we're
I'll
just
shout anything. We'll work that out on the day. We'll feel it on the day. Yeah. Right, ready. Keep it quite slow. Don't play the melodies, remember, because you need to sing.
Oh, it's 2 chords, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Right.
1, 2, 1, 2,
160's better.
Right, here we go.
I'll shout out for
Yeah, it's just remind us of the double chorus.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can't buy me. Yeah.
Just give me a clicker, just give me 1 second, mate, just find the tempo. This is at, we're going to go at 90 on this, we might need to up it a little bit.
Okay.
It's really slow and
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Minutes, 525,000 moves a minute.
Swing it, sing it, and sling it down.
Okay.
Hang on.
Do we all come in at the start?
Yeah, we all go on.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Speak to us, sir.
Hello there. We're back again for round 2.
We're using a different guitar this time, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're using a more, we're using a more flamenco style or flamenco sounding, yeah?
Yeah, and he doesn't want to look at me, that's why I'm stuck in here.
We're just tuning up at the minute.
Because I'm so ugly that he can't bear to look at me.
Well, just don't want you frightening me, kids. Here we go for Chico and the Man.
I'm really pleased with that. I've got to say I'm really pleased with that on Broadway one because I thought it was, well, I was giving it a no. I was honestly going to say, no way, forget it.
I quite like the groove of Broadway, but I didn't want to put the time into it, to be honest, with all the other stuff. But then it just came out.
Well, that's come out really well. So we're doing the train track running.
Right,
Alright,
long train
that's
running.
why I'm doing that.
New routes. We're going to sort out a way of doing them then, one after the other.
I think, well, for me, I'm just plodding along on that, aren't I? I'm giving it 16. So
Not in keeping.
I don't know whether I should just be going boom, 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 boom. So you're not happy with what you're playing, and as I
It's
say,
the hot rods.
well, you play like a tonight with them anyway.
Oh, no.
But if we're going into the studio, you've got to play with your sticks tonight. You go in there
Yeah, but what the...
and you play with your sticks.
Yeah, but can I record the album with hot rods? I don't know. I've never been at this point.
I think you're worried in case you get a decent recording using hot rods. But with the hot rods, you're playing it gently, and we've still got the same feel.
I am doing.
You know what I'm going to do?
Go on.
Sorry.
I'm going to get all the cane out of the hot rods and I'm going to weave it into a basket.
Yeah, basket.
And I'm going to take up floristry.
I
You're a bloody
thought
basket
actually you were going to
case.
say you were going to. You're not enjoying it in the same way. You're too busy thinking about your back rather than just going, fuck it.
It's hard not to think
I
about
know.
your back when it's like somebody's sticking a knife in your back constantly.
But what I'm saying is, you need to just stop worrying about how it's all going and stop worrying about not playing it right or missing a beat.
You are despondent tonight, and you were the one at the beginning when I was negative.
You can't blame me for all the bum bass notes and bum piano chords.
No, you're absolutely right, and there's been a lot of bum notes, but I was negative at the beginning, thinking, I really hate this song. And you said, don't be negative. Well, I'm saying to you now, don't be negative. Got to go back in there.
It's exactly like what was happening last week, where we came out going, oh, it's bad, it's really bad, and we're getting really bad. Right, that's gone. Come on, let's enjoy it. Let's just go and enjoy it.
The funny
and
thing,
that's exactly what we've got to do. Just chill, give each other loads of eye contact, enjoy it,
enjoy the
we'll be
rhythms.
fine. You, me, you.
Bass players,
me, you, me.
Bass players and drummers are supposed to be like entwined, aren't they?
Well, but to be honest, it's not.
I want
it's
tonight.
Not, it's not me and you communicating, Baz. It's not me and you communicating because we can do it like that without even thinking.
Oh my God,
It's me communicating with you.
It's you and me.
It is. It's
I must
me,
admit.
It's me. I've not
Yeah.
eye contacted enough with you tonight,
Yeah.
and that's
All
what
right,
I need to
then,
do. I need to
When we go back in, it'll
go,
be.
G and all that lot.
Yeah.
We need to sort of.
Yeah.
I know it sounds daft.
No, you're
But
right.
probably even in the studio, we need to be talking ourselves as in right G and all that lot. And just by keeping that going, it keeps you switched on and really focused on it. And I think that's too busy thinking of our own stuff
And I was-
what we're doing ourselves.
Just going to add to that, it's tempting now to dissect the songs, isn't it, and try and make them a little bit better. But I don't think that's a good idea. They work as they are. So let's just learn to play them
as
properly.
it is, apart from Lovely Day.
You're still not happy with that?
Lovely Day is just not. It's not right.
Right, here we go.
Are we doing right?
Slow
It's
down.
an unusual
Right, we're going
one.
to try and slow it down for you, but we haven't got a tempo. So
Which one are we doing now?
It's not
Oh,
unusual.
sorry, mate. Yeah.
My mum's.
Is that's roughly what we're
Doom.
Yeah.
Doom. No, she's boom, boom.
Yeah, that's right, I know. For the intro, for the beginning bit.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, just boom, boom. Well on.
It's
1, 1,
G and A minor.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No way, that's what that's no way, that's on the record. That's like shit.
That's so don't start it like that.
No, you don't.
Do that in the studio and dub that. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Solo, it ends on the C, doesn't it? And then it comes in with
There has to be a gap in it there because,
a proper gap.
well, not stop
Not
and let him sing in fresh air if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll,
and then we'll drag it in the studio.
yeah. Well,
so
yeah.
it goes straight in at that.
So
point.
we'll stop, let it ring, count it off again, and then edit the counts out.
Yeah. So what are you saying
All
on
our
the
trade
bass line?
secrets here. The bass line at the minute.
I
is-
think the bass line's fine up until the half time, and then change
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
at half
it
time.
needs to lock into my right foot.
I think you need to get funky there. A little bit funky. Yeah. Offbeat. Bam, 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 going down. Just because you go back to the punk bit after, don't you?
Yeah, the very end we go out
When
on
we go
the,
back.
we go out on the intro.
Yes, on the last bit when we're all rising up. Yeah, yeah. So that's good. Yeah.
We'll get it. Right now it's coffee and what choppers you
Yeah,
get coffee
because-
and cream. Today is Friday 8th of April. Tomorrow Saturday is our last rehearsal with the trio, and then John comes up a week today, so that will be next rehearsal with him, or first rehearsal with him will be the 16th. It'll be very interesting on that 16th to see how it all pulls together after the work that we've been doing as two separate units, if you like, to see if we can forge it all together. After the rehearsal with John on the Saturday, we're in the studio 17, 18, 19, 20. And we're pretty optimistic that we can get the job done. Everybody's, sort of fired up. Trio's sounding fantastic. We just got to forge John with the trio. There'll be some last minute adjustments, but we're aware of that. That's pretty much it. Did some work yesterday on Chico, just mixing it. It's sounding great. Chops has done the bass on it. Sounds fantastic. So that's pretty much it. Next time we see us will be at rehearsal. And we're looking forward to it. Should be good. Should be good. Right, it's nice to rehearse in the daytime, innit, with the sun shining. How's it sounding?
Sounding good. It's sounding very good. I think what we can do is just go through it a couple of more times now without any stoppages. And if we make mistakes, just to get the feel of it running through it.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And that's it really.
We ready to rock and roll?
We'll just play until the end of our sesh, which is about 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And
Good.
go back to get it in the neck from the missus. Don't put that on the video. Okay.
It's all the stuff you don't see on the documentaries now, all the loading and unloading. Today's Friday 15th of April, just on the way to the train station now to collect John, who's coming up from London on the train. That's pretty much it. We're all ready, set, ready to rock and roll. The studio's booked. We're in there tomorrow, which is Saturday, for rehearsals, and then Sunday we've got rehearsals afternoon, and we're hoping to start tracking early evening. That's about all I can tell you really. Saturday, Sunday, Monday in the studio, and it's all looking good. We're pretty, everybody's ready, so we're looking forward to it. It should be fantastic. Very good journey, bang on time, absolutely brilliant. I'm just sort of looking forward to getting on with it really now. And there's a pretty tight schedule in all of this, but I think we'll be alright if we keep to it, don't you? Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Don't be discouraged, but money ain't so hard to understand. Is it working?
Not yet.
Well, what's up with you? What's taking you so long?
Just waiting for this to roll. Listen to any of your Cubase shit. This is the thing. None of your cheap crap.
Cubase probably fucking rolls.
Alright when she's away. This is actually very easy to sing. Right, come on, song to sing.
It's all this. It's better for us now you're singing.
Well, I don't know. It's throwing me out.
Yeah.
It's throwing me out because you're phrasing on it. It's great. I'm sort of used to it my way, and it's like, whoa, shit, it's throwing me out on a little bit. So,
and from the other side, I've been using the videotapes to sing along with, and that. So now because you've moved on since I got the last tape, so it all sounds different, and it's all live, and it's all through the speech. So all these different sounds are coming at me, and he's looking at me, you're looking at me, and you're going like this, and he's going, what's he doing? What's he doing? You know, so kind of weird. It's like no one knows what they're doing. You know.
No. I'm giving Andy plenty of nods to say, yep, right on tune, it's all spot on.
Right, that's what we need to know, isn't it?
Yeah. Hold on.
There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sunshine when she's gone. Can't hold it up there, you've got it all the time, man.
Well, don't worry about that.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime that she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone. I wonder if she's gone to stay. No sunshine when she's gone, and the sun's just ain't no home. Anytime that she goes away. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. No sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime that she goes away, anytime she goes away, anytime that she goes away, anytime that she goes away. That's jazz.
This track is the way we're building it like nice and relaxed now. And then we come in with those stabs of bang, bang.
People just go like that.
Make me orgasm, Taylor. Don't make me flipping go, what the was that?
Come on,
Okay, go. You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always stay around. You are the apple of my eye. Forever you'll stay in my heart. I feel like this is the beginning. Although I've loved you for a million years, and if I thought our love was ending, I find myself drowning in my own tears. 'Cause you are the sunshine of my life. That's why I always stay around. And you are the apple of my eye. Forever you'll stay in my heart. You must have known that I was lonely, because you came to my rescue. And now I know this must be heaven. I've got so much love inside of you. You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always stay around. You are the apple of my eye. That's why I always stay in my heart. alright last time?
Yeah.
It's okay, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I just ask you something? What happens at the start?
It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it goes 1,
Yeah,
2,
but you say
3.
can't find. Who sings
Nobody.
Can't Find Me Love?
Nobody sings it. We're just doing that as an
I
intro.
know.
Because you've been singing it.
It's just your
Sorry, right,
It's
okay.
that thing of can't buy me a little.
Right.
It goes
So you know
1,
where
2,
to
3,
go.
4. Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that's
Now I
great.
realise it was just for me.
It's just getting that.
Wow.
So you know the sort of. What's it, basically.
1, 2, 3, 4. And
timing was all over as well.
Was it
general
really?
feel.
Was it really?
Okay, first we've been playing as a band for an hour. What do you reckon?
I think it's all right.
I think it's sounding okay.
Different.
I think we sack the singer and get a new singer.
Sack the singer, send him back.
Trains won't be busy going to London now with the match being on.
If you hurry up, you can get the 6:30.
You had enough, Andy? Have you had enough, mate?
Hey, it's the telly working there.
It's been a long day today. The first time that we all got together, so it was quite nerve-wracking really to suddenly hear everything live, and I struggled a bit to start with, but the nice thing was it was the same for everybody else because they hadn't heard me sing and I hadn't heard them play, so it was a kind of a two-way thing. But what was good is that by the end of the rehearsal session today we managed to start to sort of link together, so I'm feeling a lot more confident, but at the beginning of the rehearsal today I wasn't feeling confident at all. But I think now, after we've had about 4 hours of rehearsal, 5 hours of rehearsal, we might just have something that's going to sound okay. I think so. End of day one. Well, a bit bizarre because my head as producer on this is very much diverse. It's in about 9 to 12 different areas. We're looking at technical issues, we're looking at recording issues, we're looking at room ambience, we're looking at room reverbs, whether we should screen the kit off, whether we should keep the kit tight, you know, whether we should DI the bass. It all gets a bit, you know, so it's time for a San Miguel. I think today was a real massive steep learning curve because we've got the first time all the guys have been together, and it was great. We enjoyed it. It was a bit fraught at first. The first couple of run-throughs were like, whoa, what are we doing? Why? Let's just not do an album. Let's pretend it's a single and just do one track. And then suddenly, it just, as it always does, it just clicked and we came together. We've got some. I think we've got some great results today for the first rehearsal. Like I say, from a production or a producer's point of view, there's an awful lot that I need to look at, and the music, in some respects, becomes second. It has to play second fiddle, because I'm looking at technical things. Tomorrow for me will be the day that I really start to enjoy it. Today was good. Rehearsals were good, and technically wise, we need to just look at a couple of bits and pieces. And I know that Chops and the Zach will be off, and they will be looking at, you know, sort of in their cellars for leads and stuff and all that sort of stuff. But as first rehearsals go, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. We're buzzing. We've watched a bit of VT back, and it's we're pleased. It's sounding fantastic, superb. We'll see you tomorrow in the studio. Good night.
You okay, Andy?
Yeah, just backing up a little bit. What we're going to do, we're going to
We'll have a listen to
back
play.
to it at the
Yeah,
place again.
we'll do what's it. We'll do playback and then we'll move on. Yeah.
Check everything's
Yeah.
teddy boo. I don't fancy playing anymore.
You happy? All yours is down now. Yeah.
I'll speak in a minute when in 10 minutes when I'll listen to all tracks.
Okay.
Just a bit concerned about lovely day because it's not been a
It's
lovely
not such a
day.
lovely day. It's raining in a minute.
I know that the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. When you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're
Yeah.
You just hear, you know, that section where it comes in again.
Oh yeah. Just when you've got the pedal, you just have to edit it out.
Yeah, but
No, you can. I could hear that. Even I could hear that.
you know what I do? I heard it. I didn't hear it.
whisper and rush, and all this song like seems to show. And I just have one more dance with you.
There we go.
It's seriously worrying.
There we go.
No, but some gay guy lying across me knee. What the
It's not a joke.
Keep my shades on.
all this, it makes me belly look fat.
Well, actually, you're hiding my belly, so that's good.
Okay, that's
You
it.
stay there.
Cool. Alright, okay guys. That's
Hey.
it. There we are, that's cool. Looking good. Prefer to see that, that's great. Lovely. Couple more. Barry looking serious there.
A lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day. This is all the duff bit, innit? Job done. It's like when the builders have been in, they have to put all the tools back in the van and all that. This is the duff stuff. The duff stuff.
The hard work.
But it's all worthwhile in the end. That's the fruits of our labour. That's the album. Album. It's the album. Album. Years ago, you used to have a box of tapes when you come out.
Yeah,
You used to come out like this, didn't you? Now, that's it. 3 days' work.
Nice one. 3.
Well, just got back from the studio. Superb session. The album's sounding great. We brought all the exported all the files now from the studio, and we're just uploading them here so we can continue working. So there's, as you can see, there's the files. We just drag all of those, and we now watch them populating the screen. Here we go. Pretty quick, because he's not a full band, he's only like a trio, so it's pretty watching populate. Here we go. How sad's that? Done, that's it. It's late, very late. We've been mixing all day. I'm absolutely trashed. My eyes. I've just been up to John, to his bedroom, to get a password for his PC. And he's drawing pictures. It's like 2 in the morning and he's drawing pictures. Very odd, very odd. Okay, today is the 11th of May. I've pretty much been working on the album now, just tidying things up, bit of mixing, and sending them now to Dave Hewson down in London, who's going to do the vocals with John down there. I've sent Song for You, Ain't No Sunshine, Can't Buy Me Love, Chico and the Man, It's Not Unusual, Moon Dance, On Broadway, Seasons of Love. We just got some little bit of more work, Andy and I, to do on You Are the Sunshine, and then we're pretty much, Lovely Day. And they're pretty much underway then. Just waiting to speak to Andy now, obviously get him over and work on the bits and pieces we need to tidy up. That's pretty much it, everything bang on course. Pictures back from Jason looking fantastic. Sounding brilliant, absolutely brilliant, much better than I anticipated. So great, it's all going well. So we're just going to do that, and then we need to get onto the pressing plant, see what availability they've got to press the CDs and get the booklet done. Fantastic. Speak to you later.
So here I am. I'm in Dave Hewson's recording studio in South East England, and I've come here just to do the vocals, the final vocal, now that all the arrangements have been done and they've all been recorded. So this 2 days is just about me doing the singing and just putting the final touches to the vocals that then will be sent back to Barry and then will be finally mixed. So let's hope it sounds good. It's not unusual to be mad.
Yeah, I think this phrase needs to move closer to that one. Even though you didn't sing it there, I don't think that matters.
It's not unusual to be mad with anyone.
That's starting to sound better now.
How do you get around that?
Well, there's another way of doing it. Do it that way. Take the other half of mad.
Be mad with anyone.
That's better.
It's not unusual to be mad with anyone.
That's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
That it's going to be possible to sort it out.
It's not unusual to be mad with anyone.
Well, those should all be the same note for a start, shouldn't they? Down here.
It's not unusual.
Also, that's 2.
I know your image of me isn't what I hope to
you please see through me, 'cause we're alone now, and I'm singing a song for you.
Morning, today is the Monday the 16th of May. Just waiting for Andy coming over. We're just going through, we've sent the tracks out to the guys now with sort of a rough board mix, and they've had their say via emails to what they thought the track sounded like, where there was any errors they wanted to put right, and that's pretty much it. These are from Chops, yeah, and these are from the Zach. That's the problem. That's the problem when you work with absolute perfectionists. That's what you get. So, nevertheless, he's coming over this morning. We're going to have a look at some of these notes that he's made, and hopefully we can, you know, these are tiny little adjustments, but this is the Zach and the Chops. I mean, you know, let me read you one thing the Chops put here. One note at bar 52 seems a little rushed. That's the sort of level that Chopper's working at. Same with Andy. We've got I think there is a missing note at 2 minutes 55. This is over probably a whole 1,000 notes that he's played. But nevertheless, I like it. I like working to these tolerances. It makes me happy because of my OCD. So we'll get on today and see how it goes. Fabulous.
Well, except for this bit here.
It's good. That's where that cushion went.
Yeah, so well, we can have it. Yeah, if you want the name Andy Penzak Trio,
I think we keep the name.
Me.
I think it's fabulous.
But it's the sum of the parts that count. Hey, that sounds good, doesn't it? Don't edit that. Sum of the parts.
Uh, 6th of June today. Christine's coming over for the first time to do some, have a play with these tracks and start to do some backing vocals. Did a few more drum overdubs the other day. It's been a few weeks off now. Everybody's got sort of, chilled out, and now we're getting back to getting the thing finished. So yeah, it's exciting. Should be good. She'll be in a bit, so we'll see how she fares up. Okay, see you later.
Here I am, trying to sing along to something that I don't know, but I've got my water and I've got my instructions.
It's not really water, so it's wine.
No, it's vodka actually. It's vodka. So if I get better, it's the vodka that's doing it. It's nothing to do with me.
Well, we've just stopped for a break, haven't we, Chris?
We certainly have.
And it's that's Ribena you're drinking, of course, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just helps.
Very thick Ribena. It's Ribena.
We've done one. How's it gone?
Fabulous. I can't believe how good that piece of kit is, because I am amazed. I am amazed how you can put all those things together and make it sound good. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. So
it's Thursday, 30th of June. Postman's just been. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the vocals on DVD from Dave Hewson in London. I know it's from Dave Hewson because it says so on the back. Interestingly wrapped. So we're just going to load them up now and see what they sound like.
I feel like this is the beginning.
Well, after a couple of teething problems with the DVD, which for some reason the system didn't like, we've got them. They're all here. So now it's just mix and get them sorted out. So today we're in the studio, we've got Jake in. Morning, Jake.
Hey,
We're just scoring out some brass parts and some sax parts for Seasons of Love. And we've had a couple of runs and we're just tidying some bits and pieces up now, and Jake's done a great job, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, apparently.
So we tell him.
All the time. Love will never do what you want it to.
Done?
Yeah, sorry.
Good, bad?
Yeah, once we got the notes out.
Right, well, today is the 11th of October. It's been going really well on the album. After Jake did the saxophone bits, I've been working pretty much flat out on getting everything up and ready to do the final mixes. Some bad news today though. 11th of October 2011, not a good day for the Jet APT project. I've just completely lost all of the files for the track Lovely Day, which has had so much work put into it. It's just disaster. The whole project has gone basically. We've had a computer problems, crashed, and we've lost a lot. I'm just going to get on to Germany now and see, because Steinberg support is out in Germany, so I'm just going to ring their helpline now and see if there's some way we can recover some of the files. But it's just absolutely devastating. It's probably 6 weeks work just on that one track. Gone. So a bit pissed off, to be honest with you, today. A bit pissed off. And to add to that, it's pouring down with rain as well. That's it. Speak later. Right, I've just come off the phone from the Steinberg technical people, and they pretty much told me that the problem was caused by one of the VST plugins which has corrupted the file, and basically all the files are there, we just can't access them. So that's, in some respects, that's quite good news, because at least the audio is there. We just have to find it and then rebuild it all. Problem is that any of the patterns that were in there, or whatever format it was in, any of the effects that we've put on anything, that's all been lost. So not the end of the world, but close to the edge. That's pretty much it. I've just got to go now and see if we can recover what's, we're looking for damage limitation now, see if we can find what's there and then hopefully rebuild it. So that's about it. Okay, I've managed to find the audio for Lovely Day. Only problem is it's showing 130 tracks. The piece is showing 130 individual tracks, which what that means is every tiny little edit we've done, it's recovered everything and put it all into a song. So the good news is it's all there. The bad news is it's all got to be put back together. But we'll get on with it anyway. See how it goes. It's 3:15 AM. I'm still recovering files from the Titanic, which is a lovely day. We're there. We've got pretty much everything back, but it's been tough, very, very tough. I'm very tired now. I've been in the studio now for about 15 hours solid, so I'm pretty much knackered. I've just opened a bottle of wine, treat myself to a little Sousson, and we live to fight another day. Okay, see you later. Hi, 1st of November today. Just catch me in the kitchen. Album's sounding good. It's gone out to all the guys. Everybody's happy with it. We just need to do a few final tweaks on the mix. That's pretty much it. Hopefully next couple of weeks we should have a product to put out to the big wide world. So just got to get back to my signature spaghetti bolognese. And as they say in Italy, ciao.
Hi there, this is John. My new album, Artisan, is out soon with the fantastic Andy Penzak Trio.
I've been so many places in my life and times. I've sung a lot of songs and I've made some bad rhymes. I've acted out my life in stages with 10,000 people watching. But we're alone now and I'm singing a song for you. I know your image of me isn't what I hope to be. And if I treated you unkindly, can't you see? There's no one more important to me. So darling, can't you please see through me? 'Cause we're alone now and I'm singing this song for you. And you taught me precious secrets of a truth withholding nothing. You came out in front when I was hiding. And now I'm just so much better. And if my words don't come together, listen to the melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding. I love you in a place where there's no space or time. And I love you for my life, 'cause you're all friends of mine. And when my life is over, I'll remember when we were together. We were alone and I was singing this song for you. And when my life is over, I'll remember when we were together. We were alone and I was singing a song for you. For you.
Okay.
He was late. He was late. He's
sick of working with f***ing idiots.
See ya. And I go. You don't know what I'm meaning, do you?
I have no idea where you are or what.
Anytime she goes oh. When you heard me do that for the first bit, did you not go? Hey, that.
I just don't want to be a drummer anymore. I don't like it. I don't like being a musician. I want to just be a gardener or something.
Why don't you like it? You love it, really. You love playing.
Harry,
you
know
playing.
when it comes together.
It's all the. This is all the shit bit. But once you're playing, you know what it's like once you're playing. And it's second nature.
I can't use the hot rods tonight. My brushes.
He's even mentioning.
My brushes are broke. All the canes come out my hot rods. My back's killing me.
Why don't you just buy some new hot rods?
Just.
It looks like Barry, because you've got your hands like that. It does look like a gnome's beard. A very. You just need to have white hands. You got a white beard. You're a gnome.
Sorry.
Go gnome.
Good journey, absolutely brilliant, on time and everything, so...
Should we do it again when there's no bridges?
Well, I'm just not into it, Barry, I'm sorry.
It does.
Oh,
I know we never
quid.
did. The hi-hats on bloody Moondance.
You'll have to just... Oh.
Shit.
Well, you can't do it now, that's it, the party's over.
Hold on.
Sorry, mate. It's got a perfect round circle now, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You can film the shadow as well, that might be a nice touch too. Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah. No, I needed the backing track, yeah.
Right, 3, because you need 2.
I need to know when I'm going up and down.
Don't matter.
No, it does, man.
It does, yeah. Because otherwise, if I'm down here and there's a note going plink up here, it's going to look. I mean, I don't know if you're going to use that bit. This is the thing. We don't know if we're going to use it.
Right, go.
And go.
Well,
hold on. Just give me a sec.
Come on, Chops, what are you doing? I'll have it bleeding dark.
It's not having touchscreen.
We're recording here, so just play something.
Right, here we go.
And go. Jeez.
You need to zoom in a bit.
Just waft it a bit. Looks like he's on fire. Keep playing, keep playing.
Look at me, 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 look at me.
Keep playing, keep playing. Cut.
keep playing. There was no notes to play. Keep playing that. Yeah.
That's great, we can edit that in.
Yeah.
For my life, 'cause you're all friends of mine, and when my life. Oh, it's so f***ing this is a good time. I can't play it, I can't do it when you're playing that. I can't listen to the two. Sorry, I have to stop. He's distracting me because he's playing right next to me.
That's enough now. That's got enough now, definitely.
Lights, let's get out of there. The champagne flute, we can do that in our house. We're just having a brew before we finish the video. John's dressed for it, of course. He's just having a little snackette. About to finish the video off, aren't we?
Can't wait. I've acted out my life in stages with 10,000 people watching, but we're alone now, and I'm singing this song for you. Barry, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get you.
I just don't know. You keep going like this. What? How did the project start for me? I think like a lot of things, it's to do with timing, and people come to different projects when they're kind of ready to move on and get involved in new adventures. And what I do know is that Barry and Chops had finished in a band called Green Vigo, and it was basically a rock pop kind of sound. And I think they wanted to take on board a new style and a new project, linked in with something different. I've always wanted to do an album. It's just on my bucket list of things I wanted to do in my life. And I had mentioned this to Barry in a phone call. And so the whole thing began to come together. I think Barry said to Chops, would you be interested in putting together some sort of trio or some sort of swing band? And that's how it all kind of began, just through phone calls and just generally sifting through the idea of wanting to do something new.
Yes, the project started for me when Barry rang me up and said his brother was putting together like a swing type CD, and we wondered if I could play piano on it. So I thought, well, yeah, let's go for it.
How did the project start? It was me that actually started the project. I put a bunch of guys together to play at my dad's 80th birthday. One was Chops, and a guy called Mike, who was a keyboard player that was playing in a band that we were in at the time called Green Vigo. And then John came up from London. I think we did an hour's rehearsal or something, and then we went and played for my dad's 80th in the afternoon. And everybody said, "Oh, it's fantastic, it sounds great, why don't you kind of do more of this style of music?" So from that, you know, kind of chance meeting, if you like, I thought, yeah, let's have a look at it. So we sat down and thought, yeah, maybe there's some mileage in putting a project together with the swing style.
How did the project start for me? Well, myself and Barry had been playing in, you can maybe see the posters behind, a band called Green Vigo. We've been playing together for years with that band, and we played together for years anyway as a you know, bass and drums rhythm section. And Barry and John's dad, who was also called John, it was his, if I remember rightly, his 70th birthday, and Barry and John's dad, John, loved music. He loved the fact that both his kids were, Barry being a drummer, and John had done the whole art thing at art college and was into, he loved his singing, he loved his music, and Barry and John just thought it would be a really nice thing to do for the dad, something a bit special and something a bit memorable, for him to see them two playing together, because they'd never played together in any sort of project before. So they came up with the idea. I can't remember who came up with the idea, but you know, between Barry and John, they came up with the idea about playing this party for John. And straight away when Barry asked me, well, he didn't even need to ask me. The way me and Barry are, we're like, I'm like another brother to both John and Barry on that front. And yeah, there was no second thoughts about it. Yeah, of course I was going to play. So we did that gig initially. We did that 70th birthday party, and Andy wasn't playing with us at that time. We had Mike out of Green Vigo, who was our keyboard player out of Green Vigo, and Mike played at the gig, and then basically we couldn't get hold of him for doing the album. So Barry had previously been in a band called Moriarty with Andy, and Barry approached Andy, and Andy said yeah he'd love to do it again, to work with him, and it was just, yeah, that's how it all came together, you know. John had said after John's gig, I'd really like to maybe do an album, what do you think? So we were like, yeah, why not, absolutely, you know. That's part of being a musician, trying to, you know, expand yourself and do something a bit different. So yeah, we really enjoyed it, and we loved it, so it was like, yeah, well, let's do it. So we did.
Selecting the songs that we wanted to use was basically down to me. What I did is just put my brain together with all my own personal collection, and I wanted to sift out songs some that were classics, some that were a bit of an adventure and maybe weren't as popular, and to bring together a kind of a mixture of stuff that we would like to work on. Principally what I would like to work on, but hopefully that the boys would like to work on. And the idea was that there was no barriers. So we could have jazz, swing, pop, rock, and we would throw everything into a pot
and then we'd see what came out. That was really the start of what we wanted to do, and also how we would come about choosing the tracks.
Yeah, selecting the songs, that was a little bit more difficult. I didn't really have any idea what songs to use, so I suggested John put together a massive list of songs that he'd like to do, and then Barry and I would get together and sort out which ones would be suitable, or which ones I could play, to be more honest. Anyway, we did extensively for, I think it was a full day in my basement of the previous house I was in, with the piano, went through the list that John gave us, and we selected, I think it was down to 10, maybe 10 songs in the end, but I think we ended up with 9 I think is on the album, but we shortlisted it basically, and I think then we sent it back to John for his approval, and then we came up with the number of tracks that are on the album, which help me out, 9, 10, I'm not sure.
What was it like selecting songs for the album? Well, from the guys that played at my dad's 80th, Mike wasn't around, so I'd asked Andy Penzak to join us. Andy was a fantastic keyboard player that I'd worked with in a band called Moriarty many years before. Rang him up and said, we're putting this swing thing together. The thing about Andy was he was from a prog rock background, so he understood about the complexities of putting pieces of music together and time signature changes and that, so he was perfect. Thankfully he wasn't particularly busy at the time, and he jumped at the chance. Yeah, absolutely, he'd come on board. So then him and I went to his basement studio where he had a piano, and we sat down and ate too much cake, drank far too much tea, and we just went through the songs that we thought might be suitable, that we could change in some way or put a different slant on, and then we came up with a list. And then I think, if I remember rightly, we sent the list out to everyone and said, these are the tracks we're looking at, give us your thoughts on them. So yeah, it took hours and hours and hours and hours, but we had a laugh as well.
John mainly came up with what songs he'd like to play. If I remember rightly, he sort of gave us a list of songs that he might like to play. Me, Barry and Andy kind of got together and just started playing through some of them and saying, trying to work out arrangements to see if they'd work and everything like that. So we'd rehearse here in my studio. This is my studio, Starsky Touch, and we'd rehearse here, and yeah, basically we sort of thrashed out the songs. I mean, for me, I was quite happy to play anything. It was learning something a bit different for me, so I was quite happy to play anything, and I just wanted to learn a different way of playing the bass. So yeah, that was cool.
What was it like working with a trio that was 250 miles away? It was frustrating, it was difficult, but we got round it by, we kind of developed this little scheme, and the idea was that the boys would rehearse the tracks on their own without me, and then when they were happy with what they put together, they video it, put it on a DVD and send it to me in a jiffy bag every 10 days, something like that. That was modern technology. And then I put the DVD in my DVD player, and I could sing along with it and listen to what they'd come up with, and then we'd talk on the phone, and then they'd rehearse it again, change it, and that's how it became. Jiffy bags whizzing up and down the country.
Yeah, working with John 250 miles away, that could be a blessing or not, as the case may be, but I had met John a few times, really easygoing guy to work with, so no problem at all there. We did have a rehearsal to get the feel of a couple of the songs in Barry's studio, and that went down really well. I think it was Song for You we did, and I was surprised how good John could sing that straight away without much alteration. It came over really well, and any suggestions I gave to him he sort of took on board, and vice versa as well, with him suggesting maybe I shouldn't play as loud in this particular bit or whatever, but it went down really well, and that was the only time we met apart from when well, that was the only time we met, I think, just the once. After that, it was just telephone calls and emails. Am I right in saying that? I don't think we met up after that. I'll have to check. Memory's not what it used to be.
What was it like working with a singer 250 miles away? It was a bit tricky at that. In the early days, it didn't really matter because when you're constructing the sections of music, the singer's not got a lot to do anyway. And deciding what points we're going to move that and where the time change comes there. So John kind of wouldn't have been, he'd have been kind of twiddling his thumbs anyway. So it was difficult, but what we would do is we'd put the track together in some form or shape. We'd video it, we'd put a DVD in a jiffy bag, and then we'd send it down to London to John. We used the technology that we had available. I mean, obviously now, if you were doing it today, you would just have a live stream on your FaceTime and do it like that. So, so we did it with what we had available. And yeah, it would have been more helpful if John was there. But in all honesty, we got through it. We kind of worked it the best we did.
That was a bit challenging, to be honest, yeah, because obviously usually when you're rehearsing or going through a song, you bounce off the ideas together, and also when you're sort of rehearsing the song, in order to identify the different bits, you have to sort of use the vocals as a bit of a reference point to where you are in the song sometimes, otherwise you can get quite kind of lost quite easily. So that was kind of funny, because obviously you'd have me or Barry or Andy sort of singing, and we're not the best singers in the world at all. And I'm sure Barry has some video of us singing little bits, which I'm sure he'll put in this somewhere or other. But yeah, it's kind of one of those where it would have been better if John would have been here. And if I remember, what we did do is we'd put a couple of ideas down and then send them to John, and then he'd kind of like sing to them and kind of say yes or no as well. I think that was it, yeah, if I remember rightly.
The most difficult track for me was Seasons of Love, and probably it was because I didn't want to do it in the first place. It was the one track that I was persuaded by Barry to do, and I didn't really want to do it because it was a show tune, and it's got and all the versions that are out there are so incredible, and I thought, there's no way I can even attempt to follow that. But what I did was try and do my own version, of course. It's just a lot of words. It's just a lot of words, and you've heard so many great versions of it that it was a real challenge. But I did manage to get through it, and I don't want to say this, but it actually sounds all right.
Yeah, the most difficult track was definitely Broadway, and I tried a few versions at home on the piano, and I had no idea what we were going to do for it. I don't know why we chose it even, but it might have been John possibly twisting my arm saying we definitely have to have Broadway on the album. I don't know, but it wouldn't be a track I would choose. So we're in Chopper's studio, and plenty of ideas are going out, and none sounded right. And I remember us thinking, are we going to drop this? We'll have to ring John up and tell him the bad news. And then all of a sudden, Chop said, hang on a minute, let's just try this. And he starts chugging away on the bass, like that, like a pump type, repetitive bass. And then Barry thinks, right, I've got this. So he clicks in with this hi-hat and a bit of a kick bass or whatever they do on the drums, I have no idea. And it worked. I thought, well, hang on a minute. So I just played the chords over it, the chord changes, and it worked absolutely spot on. Straight away, it sounded like a version that I would be proud to have on the album, even though it wasn't my album, and even though I didn't want Broadway on the album, it would work. And the rest is history. It is on the album, and it's probably one of the best tracks.
Which was the most difficult track to play. It's not unusual, and I'll tell you for why. Because although we were doing it with like a groove samba style beat, I tried so hard, I just couldn't. It wasn't really my expertise or my style of playing, and we struggled like crazy, or I did. And we kind of got to the final rehearsals, and when we were in the rehearsals in the studio, unbelievably, the drum tutor that works there, a guy called Dave, he'd been on tour with Tom Jones. He'd done some touring with Tom Jones, and I said to him, yeah, I'm struggling with this. So he actually, I think there's some video of it, he actually sat in with the band, showed me how to play it. He'd actually been with Big Tom, so there was no finer tutor. Once we got that, then I realised how it was phrased and stuff, and then it was it was easier. But it was it was difficult because it was a tricky one. It was kind of out the boundaries. It was the grey area, and so for me that was a tricky one. It was I wanted it to be absolutely spot on, so it took me a little while to get that. So thanks to Dave, we were able to pull it off.
Which was the most difficult track I worked on? That would be Chico and the Man, I think. There was a few songs that were difficult. Chico and the Man was just difficult with regards to, it was kind of like a samba-y style thing, and it was very different to what I played before. And there was a couple of little awkward little runs in there. But generally most things were fairly straightforward. Yeah, I think Chico and the Man was probably the hardest.
The track that I enjoyed the most was Broadway, and the reason for that is that it turned out so much better than I anticipated, and it's just got a great groove to it, and we've actually performed that live quite a few times, and it really cracks on when it's played live. So that, to me, is probably the best track as far as I'm concerned. There is another track which is Song for You, and that is on a par with Broadway for me, for very different reasons. Mainly because it's just piano and voice, and it was a risk. We took a big risk with that, because instead of putting an arrangement around it, we thought we'd just have piano and voice. It'd be a nice, easy track on the album to break away from all of the rest of the trio playing. But also, from my point of view, it was a risk because it exposes the voice quite a lot. So I had a bit of vocal coaching for that. And maybe because of that reason, I feel that could possibly be maybe the best track on the album from a vocal point of view. It was the first time that Andy and I worked together as well. That very first time that we met, I stood next to him, he played it, and it sounded so good on that first time. Constantly we kept revisiting it, thinking, shall we put an arrangement around it or not? And we ended up just doing voice and piano. And of course we made the video as well, and the video turned out to be great. So that was a big plus as far as I was concerned.
Ain't No Sunshine, absolutely beyond a doubt, is my favourite track on that album. And I'm glad John chose that, because it is one of my favourite tracks, and he chose it so it could go on quite easily. The reason I enjoyed that one so much is it was the first time that we actually sounded like a jazz swing whatever trio. I remember it in the studio, in Chop Studio again, when we did all the rehearsals. It just sounded, for a brief 5 seconds, it sounded like we were the genuine article. We were a swing trio that had been together for like 50 years and doing the circuits, and it was the one for me. Yeah, absolutely.
Which track did I enjoy working on the most? I enjoy working on them all. I think for me, I probably enjoyed working on Chico because both versions, there's a piano version and there's like a full, kind of band version, if you like. I like doing that because it was something different, because all the percussion on it was played live. We programmed the loop first, and then we played to the loop, and then it was all replaced with live percussion. But we used things like rubbing our hands, and clapping, and we used for the bass drum. We took all of the bass drum. We took the bass drum out of the bass drum case, and we used the case. So we mic'd up the case and we hit it with the, the palm of our hand. Little tricks like that, which was unusual. It's something different to work on. So that's the one I enjoyed working on the most, just because it was a little bit quirky and a bit more organic than some of the other stuff.
Ain't No Sunshine. For me, I love what I played on it with regards to the proper swing bass parts. I really love the breakdowns that we have in that, where I love what Andy played with the keys. I love the whole feel of that track, and I think we did a brilliant version of it, to be honest. I really do think we did great on that track. I really enjoyed playing on it, and it's always one that I still play a lot now. Actually, if I'm doing a bit of warm up on the bass, I'll run through that bass line just because I really love the bass line of it. So yeah, that is definitely my favourite track, and it's because it's great to play on. It's just really cool.
Being part of a small team is always good news as far as musicians and singers go. More people involved equals more opportunities for disagreement and things to go wrong. So from my point of view, I didn't have anything to do with them when they were rehearsing, so I just kind of let them get on with it. When I stepped in, most of the work had been done, so I didn't have that much to say once we actually stood in a room and started playing the stuff that we'd rehearsed. Strangely enough, it all came together really quickly because we'd done all the background work. But it was good that it was a very small team, because we were all tuned into what we were doing as well. So on the whole, we all got on really well.
Working with a small team, what was it like? Absolutely fine, as far as I'm concerned. Smaller the better sometimes. I do a lot of solo work, so I have to be happy working with myself. Duo, fine. Trio, great. The more people generally in a project, the harder it is, and people have different ideas, starts to get messed up. So the smaller the better, worked fine for me.
What was it like being part of a small team? It doesn't really matter to me, small team, big team, and as long as the team of people are right, it doesn't matter. I mean, Chops and I have worked together for years and years and years and years. Andy I've worked with for many, many years. Obviously John's my brother, so the team was focused. Christine, we've done a lot of work with Christine. Jake, young saxophone player, he's a great young lad as well. Alan Cadwallader, I've worked with him for donkey's years. So as long as the people that were picked were right for the team, the size of the team didn't really matter, to be honest with you. Chops and I have shot videos with, we've had the artists, we've had, supporting actors, we've had 10, 12 people on set, and still, as long as it's focused, and it's got a direction and it's managed well, I think the size of team is somewhat irrelevant. Obviously small teams bring less problems, but generally speaking, if it's the right team and it's managed properly, it doesn't really matter to me.
Me and Barry have always worked together in bands and everything like that, and because we're both both Barry and myself are really into our recording and engineering, and we always work very closely together. So there was certainly moments where we would get a bit annoyed with each other or whatever. Me and Barry, it's always with regards to the speed of the track or something like that. I'd be regularly saying, "Whoa, slow down," or whatever, and I'm sure he's got some video of us sort of having disagreements with regards to the track speed and things like that. But that's part of what I love about working with Barry. We're dead passionate about the music. We want the music to be the best it can be, and we do challenge each other, but we never take anything. We never hold grudges over anything. We just laugh it off, and that's it. We'll call each other all the names under the sun, and everything like that. But you know, fundamentally, I love him to bits. He's like my brother. He's like the brother I never had. Both him and John, and Andy was a great mate. Is a great mate. Sorry, Andy. Sorry, he's a great mate as well. You know. But you have these sort of things when you're working very closely together. Again, and I think a lot of it's because of the passion that you all have about doing the very best you can and making it the very best you can. So yeah, that was it.
What would I do if I had to do this again? I think there's two things. If I was going to do a cover album, I think I would choose a specific style. So I'd do a jazz album, or I would do a rock album or a swing album. Because although I like the mixture of stuff on the album that we did, I think there are moments when it strays a little bit, and I think there's just a slight lack of continuity. But that was the risk that we took. That was the whole point of doing it, was to take a big risk. And I think the second thing I'd do, if I was doing this again, is I'd like to do an album of new material.
Doing it again, what I'd do differently. There's not a lot. There's the sound of all the tracks. I'm pretty pleased with on the whole. Obviously, it's John's CD, John's album. He had the main say in what was to go on there, what it was to sound like. So we did bend towards what he wanted. There's a couple of things that I would like to have been on there that weren't on there. One was we did a piano version of Chico, which I think would have been great on the album. I would have liked that as maybe the last track. I think we were going to, and it never materialised. The recording was done. John sang it, and I think it was going to be the last track on the album as like a fade away track. So that didn't go. So I'd like that to be on if we did it again. And there was something else as well that. Oh yes, it's a bit of a sore point. This I did a really great solo on "Song for You," piano solo, and that was cut in half. I'm still recovering from that, John. I'm still recovering. Many hours in the psychiatrist's chair because of that. You're responsible. You know who you are.
What would I do differently next time? I think because it was down to me, this really, I kind of forged ahead with everything. I kind of like to think I got it right this time, to be honest with you, but I think the only thing I would change would be probably more rehearsal with John. So before we tracked, I'd have more rehearsal time with John, just so he was sat more familiar with the tracks. And I would have preferred to record John's vocals rather than sending them out. I think we'd have had a bit more control over it, and we would have spent a little bit more time on it. But you know, with the circumstances and the situations that we had, I think we did a pretty good job.
To be honest, thinking back to everything on that, you can always say, oh, if we'd had more time on this, or I know certainly when we recorded the whole album, if I remember rightly, in 2 days at MCC Studios, and you know, as you'd always like more time to record, to spend more time in getting things sounding right, because it's always such a, you know, time's money in the studio, and so like the setting up of, particularly I know particularly for Barry, the drum kit, he really, you know, I know when we got the files back from the studio, because we mixed it and mastered it. We just did the recording in MCC because it was a big studio on that front, and we didn't have the mics at that point in order to be able to record the kit. That was the main reason why we didn't record it in either Barry's studio or my studio. But I know for Barry on that, he really wanted he was a bit disappointed with the drum sounds. There was a lot of bleed, which, if you know anything about recording, that's the thing you try and avoid. there was a lot of bleed over of my bass onto his kit, and funnily enough, we'd said at the time there was some screens in the studio that could have gone around the kit to isolate it more and have the sound more isolated, and we were kind of kicking ourselves afterwards because we were like, we should have put those screens up, we should have used those screens, we would have had a much better drum sound then. Not that we didn't have a great drum sound anyway, you know. Barry's a great engineer on that front, and he knows how his kit needs to sound, and so he'd work really hard on the drums to get rid of all the bleed of my bass and everything like that. And yeah, he did a great job with them. Superb. Well done. Well done.
Did the album meet my expectations? Yes, I think it did. Because we set out to do what we did, and we did it. When you produce something like art, whether it's music or a painting or a sculpture or whatever you do, I always think it's important to let other people decide whether it's any good or not. We just did what we did at that time, in time. We came together and we did it. I think other people really have to decide whether it's of any merit or not. But very proud of it. I think we all worked very, very well together. And as I say, we did set out to do it, and we did it. Whether other people decide it's any good or not, that's entirely up to them.
Yeah. Did the album meet my expectations? Yes, absolutely, because if something doesn't meet my expectations, then I just pull the plug on it. I didn't, because we have a finished CD, therefore it must have met my expectations. It's as simple as that.
Did the album meet my expectations? Well, there was never really any expectations. It started as an 80th birthday party. We then looked at doing one track, which, you know, kind of worked, and then we kind of, right, let's do an album. So we did an album, then we said, right, we need to shoot a promo, so we did that. Then we said, right, let's shoot a video. We did a couple of videos actually. So yes, you know, the expectations kept changing along the way, one after another. It would just get one thing done and then something else would pop up. So, but yeah, everything met my expectations for sure. Yeah, I think we did a good job as a good team. You know, we worked well, and yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Did the album meet your expectation? Did the album meet my expectations? Yeah. Again, I think when you're coming at it from the side of recording and engineering and tracks, you kind of know what things are going to sound like anyway. So yeah, there was nothing that I was disappointed with on there. Barry got Christine in to do some backing vocals, who did all the oohs and ahs and everything like that, and Christine sounded great with those. She really complimented John's voice, I think, on that, and just brought a different string totally. Christine actually, once we'd done the album, we then carried on the Penzak trio with Christine Wren singing, and you know, we had lots of fun with Christine. It was fab. We had a good time, and we really enjoyed all the time that we were working with Christine. Yeah, it was good times. It was a good time, and we worked hard. We'd come here and rehearse. We'd rehearse lots and everything like that, and we really put the effort in to make it the best it could be. So, did the album meet my expectation? Yeah, because we put the work in. So, yeah, definitely.
Challenging, daring, fun, I suppose, at times, frustrating at times, and quite surprising.
In 5 words? That's a difficult one, isn't it? 5 words. It would be something like probably something like jazz rock at the Stilton.
Describe the whole project in 5 words. Oh my god. Describe the whole project in 5 words. Never, ever, ever, ever again.
Sorry, I can't do that. Yeah. I can't keep to 5 words, you know. Sorry. That's as much as it is on that. It was good. It was good. It wasn't a bad project. It was a good project. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think a song for you. It's not unusual. Seasons of Love. Can't Buy Me Love. It's Not Unusual. On Broadway. I don't know anymore.
Can I name the tracks on the album? Of course I could name the tracks on the album. Well, Ain't No Sun, I've been talking about all. Ain't No Sunshine. Okay, so maybe I can't name the 10 tracks. There's 10, there's 8, 9, I don't know. Right, Ain't No Sunshine. I can't think of any more, that's ridiculous. Chico. Seasons of Love. It's Not Unusual. You Are the Sunshine of My Life. Have I said Ain't No Sunshine? I can't remember. Anyway, Ain't No Sunshine, possibly. Broadway, of course, Broadway. And then we get into the nitty gritty now, aren't we? I've said Seasons of Sun. There must be some obscure one. Song for You. 9. Is there 9 tracks? I thought there was only 8. Unless you count my piano version of Chico as a track. That didn't go on though, did it? I didn't go on. I'm still sore about that. I need to go and see my psychiatrist next week. Chico. There's another one. I know there's another one. And it's... I just can't think of what it is. I don't believe it. How long have I got?
Can you name the tracks on the album? Yeah. We've got Chico, Moondance, It's Not Unusual, Can't Buy Me Love, Seasons of Love, Broadway, Can't Buy Me Love, Lovely Day, Song for You. There's another one. I can't remember. It was a year of my life and I was working on 10 tracks and I can't remember. No, 9's the best I can do, sorry.
So, Song for You, Moondance, Can't Buy Me Love, Broadway, It's Not Unusual, Ain't No Sunshine, what am I up to? 6.